just a little bit of a collection of Gemini stuff. Wiring harnesses galore. Like the whole thing is here. It's done. Stripped out of all the components that I don't need. This harness is going to fit right in here in my 1934 Chevy. I've taped it all up. So I'll get this in and get it all bracketed up, and it's there to stay. Well, I've got the back of all these gauges wired up. Clicks in. Dash sits like that. And we'll put just a couple of bolts in to hold this dash in. There you go. So if we look in there, we can see that connector, and you saw I had plenty of room to put my hand in there and put it together. That's pretty cool. So let me show you again around this way. So I take this tape off. I just had a bit of tape on there just to protect it. There you go. Gauges are all wired up. Hopefully everything's okay. But I'm another step further into finishing the wiring in the ute. So the next thing to do with this wiring inside the cab here is to put the inhibitor switch on the park and the reverse lights on the backup lights, and finish off this wiper motor here, which is a really easy one because all I've got to do is terminate the end here on the negative wire and probably just put a screw in here somewhere. I don't want to use this one. I'll just put it right here. I can go just like that. Anyway, I'll put the eyelet on for the moment because it's cold here and I want to do something nice and easy today. And just like that, the earth strap's on. Quite simple, just an eyelet and a screw straight into the bodywork. I also got the inhibitor switch and reverse light done on the shifter here. And if we look just up there, you'll see right up the back there, I've put all that in as well. Now I might run this wiring under the carpet or mat, whatever I decide to do, or I might put some sort of shielding over the top of it, or cover, and it can sit on top of the carpet or mat, whatever I decide to do. I'm not really fussed on that. So I've done all my battery leads here as well. Earth straps there and a positive going to the starter motor. And I've also got one here on the back of the block, which goes to the body here. And I'm thinking about putting one here on the transmission as well. I'll put it on one of those bolts there and run it to the bolt here on the gearbox cross member. You know, more the merrier when it comes to ground cables, just to make sure the whole body is earthed. So I've made up these brackets for my tail lights, and I've been practicing my TIG welding, and although I'm not stacking dimes, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm getting better at it, and I'm actually having some fun with it. I can see why people enjoy TIG welding over MIG welding. It is quite satisfying. So I've been working on wiring up my tail lights today, and I've got them all working. There's a right-hand indicator, left-hand indicator. I should have reverse. Stop lights and run lights. Just check those stop lights again. Yeah, they're nice and bright. They won't miss me. Well, another thing I've done today is put a little bracket here, and this is for some toggle switches here. This one here is going to be a demister. You can hear that working, and that little light went on as well. I got that all rigged up. And this one here is just going to be a courtesy light. There's no light in yet. I think I'm going to mount it under the dash there. You would remember I had some spare 12-volt power up under the dash. So that can just rigged up to there, do a little light, ground it out. That's easy enough. So one of the last things underneath the dash here was to mount these flasher cans here. They were just dangling there. I didn't have the right clamp for them, and I shopped around, and you know, one of those clamps was anywhere from $14.50 to $18. There was no way I was going to do that. I looked around for some cushion P clamps, all sorts of stuff, and No one really had anything in stock, although there was stuff online. It was just too expensive. So while walking around my local hardware, I found these little tool clips. Now those cans are 32 mil, these are 30. I figured they're gonna work. I mean, they expand anyway. And these were $4.50 for all 4. Yeah, I don't need 4, but that's just the way they come. I'll put these away for another car. Well, I got up this morning and did a few things, and around about 12 o'clock thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to get those guards out of storage there and the running boards. I'm going to put some sound deadener on them. It's a pretty nice day. They should dry relatively quick so that I can move them around and get them into the shed for the weekend, because I'm doing some stuff on the weekend, so this is a good time for them to dry. It's 3 o'clock now. I've only got a couple more hours worth of daylight, and I hope they're going to be dry enough so that I can move them around and get them into the back of the shed. I probably should put these in the sun though.